Yo, what is good YouTube? I am Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on a brand new hoop shoe from 361 Degrees, the 361 Genesis. Before we get started, if you all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, and please hit that bell notification button so you never miss another video just like this one. Also, if you do want to buy a pair of these, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description box below. If you do purchase the shoes through that link, it does help me out directly, which is very much appreciated. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction. The 361 Genesis features like this multi-directional traction pattern. It's basically a bunch of like rectangles scattered throughout in like various spots. And the traction on here, I would say it's like kind of mixed, honestly. If you're playing on clean courts, you're gonna have no issues whatsoever. You're gonna have a very good stop. It's loud, it's squeaky. If you do like that, high-pitched squeak in your shoes, this has definitely got that. If you're playing on moderately dusty courts, honestly, traction isn't too bad as well. Just know that you will have to wipe every so often. And if you're playing on extremely dusty courts, that's where this thing just really does not perform too well. It is, I would say, dangerous, honestly, depending on how dusty your courts are. For me, like, it's been extremely dry out here. The courts haven't been cleaned very often, so it is very, very dusty. And I have had moments in the shoe where I have slipped out completely. So yeah, it's just not the best when it comes to dust. So just, if you are playing on those very, very dusty courts, I would definitely watch out. You could potentially injure yourself if you do slide out, which, like I said, has happened to me a couple times already. So yeah, this is definitely a traction that I would use on the cleaner courts if possible. If you're playing on very dusty courts, I would just probably avoid this. So moving on to the cushion, the Genesis features a full-length CQT midsole, which is 361's like foam that they use in a lot of their shoes. Their quick CQ-Tech midsole feels very, very nice in pretty much all their shoes. I will say in here, it is a little bit more dead feeling just because it is like caged a little bit more in the heel area. As you all can see, you do have like this rubber piece right here that is pretty much caging in like almost the entire heel. You do have some exposed foam like right here. That same exposed foam is on the medial side as well. And I will say, when it comes to impact protection and whatnot, at least in the heel, you still get an adequate amount, I would say. Just don't expect a lot of impact protection. You also do get a very, very subtle bounce out of it as well. In the forefoot, you do have some caging on the lateral side, but it is pretty much fully uncaged on the medial side, and it also feels very good. I would say that this is pretty low to the ground. Maybe not the most low to the ground and not the most responsive, but I still felt plenty quick in the shoe. And also you do get a little bit of that impact protection and a little subtle bounce out of the forefoot as well. So yeah, I mean, the CQT foam is very, very nice, pretty much across like all of 361's shoes. So yeah, I mean, in this shoe, it's really no different. I would have probably preferred if this was a little less caged back here, but who knows? Maybe it might have been like too squishy and then also potentially unstable. So yeah, I mean, as it stands right now, it is still very good, but just know that if you are expecting a lot of impact protection out of the shoe, you're not gonna get that. This is more of like that balanced ride. So moving on to the materials, the Genesis features a couple of different materials. It's pretty much all textile though. As the base of the shoe, what you're really gonna see is this like textile upper. And I wouldn't say this is like the most premium feeling material or anything. But in terms of the performance, it does get the job done very, very well. Besides this textile, you do have like this hit of fuse. You also have like these other like plastic overlays in the higher wear areas or like areas that need reinforcement, just to make sure you aren't ripping through that material. As you move towards the back, you pretty much have that textile just come throughout like the entire shoe. You do have like this black part, which is made up of like another textile. It does actually feel nicer than this like white or beige colored stuff. Moving to the tongue, you do have like a very like basic textile tongue. It does have a couple of ventilation holes in here as well. And I would say this has like an adequate amount of padding. So if you do like to crank down your laces, you really won't feel the laces digging into the top of your foot, which is nice. So, I mean, yeah, as far as the quality of the materials used on this shoe, I will say that it's probably not the best, but in terms of the performance, it does get the job done just fine. So moving on to the fit, I will say that this shoe does pretty much run true to size. I went true to size. I had pretty much no issues. I will say that there is a little bit of dead space in the toe box area. You all can see that there is like bubbling right here where the, pretty much where like the bottom like laces go. And yeah, it doesn't really do anything. Like it's just kind of there. Besides that, I thought the fit was good. Everywhere else felt very, very nice and snug. So yeah, I mean, overall, I think most people should go true to size. Maybe if you have really wide feet, go up a half size, but I think everyone should be fine going true to size. Just know that you might get a little bit of dead space, but it doesn't really do all that much in terms of, you know, the actual fit. It's just kind of there and visually annoying. But yeah, overall, I would say the fit is pretty good. Just watch out for that dead space. So moving on to the support, the Genesis honestly had no support issues. You do have an external heel counter. You have like a little bit of heel sculpting in here. And yeah, I mean, I didn't have any heel containment issues. My heel wasn't slipping, sliding, shifting. It was just very locked down. As far as side-to-side movement on the footbed goes, like I already mentioned, I think the materials do a great job in terms of the performance, which means you are not sliding around on that footbed. Like the materials do a great job making sure your foot is nice and planted on that footbed, so you're not sliding around. As far as those hard lateral movements go, you're gonna be covered there as well. Like this is a fairly wide base. The foam actually protrudes out, and there is like a little like TPU outrigger here, or like, I guess it's like part of like the caging system, but it actually forms like a little outrigger as well with the rubber, and that just ensures that you're not going to be rolling over on those hard lateral movements, which is awesome. And then when it comes to torsional rigidity and stability, yeah, you're covered there as well. You know, there it really is no issue when it comes to the support in the shoe. This I wouldn't say has anything too special, but it gets the job done very, very well. So the Genesis retails for $110, and for $110, I will say that's a pretty solid price point for the tech that you're getting in the shoe. My one only real gripe with this shoe is the fact that the traction is pretty dangerous on dustier courts. If you are playing on very dusty courts, I would probably just stay away from the shoe because you might injure yourself. But if you are playing on like average dusty to clean courts and you are okay with wiping, then you should be fine in the shoe. Just make sure you do wipe to get off any dust that might accumulate onto the actual outsole itself. Besides that, like everything else was fine. Sure, the materials could have been a lot better, but I think at this price point, it's fine, and they do the job in terms of performance. But the cushion in the shoe is very, very nice. I mean, CQT is always nice, like I've already mentioned. And the fact that you're getting it for $110 is an awesome thing. So yeah, I mean, the Genesis is definitely, you know, a shoe that could be in my rotation if I am playing on cleaner courts. If I were to play on my like typical court that I go to right now, this would definitely not be in my rotation because that court is extremely dirty and dusty. And honestly, a lot of shoes are suffering on that court. So just keep that in mind, that the only issue about this shoe is really the traction. If you all did want to buy a pair of these, I'll leave a link for you down in the description box below. But that's pretty much it for this performance review. If y'all like this video, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, hit that thumbs up button for me, and leave a comment, as those really do help me out. Check out these videos over here, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.